Weather. Julie, back to you.
Anthony, thank you. If you're thinking about taking your pet along for vacation, there are a few things to keep in mind ahead of time. So Dr. Kelly Weaver with Fresno Pet ER here now with advice to make it the best time away for everyone involved. And that is the most important. We want to keep the pets happy and also keep ourselves happy as well. So first of all, when should we take them? What's a good trip for these pets?
It's not what's a good trip so much as how much you're going to be able to focus on them. Because it may be a great beach trip, but if you don't have a place where you can keep them and you're going to be spending time at, concerts or plays or something like that, then it may not be the right trip. Because you're going to have a pretty low-key trip where you can focus on them. It's like taking a baby. You just can't leave them in the hotel room.
Exactly.
So you've got to, and a lot of people do, and they ruin it for the people that travel with pets, because then, that place is less likely to take a dog next time when they've had a barking dog for 8 hours in their room.
To carry it forward.
Yeah.
So let's start with a road trip. How do you prepare for one of these with a pet?
If you're crossing state lines, you want to make sure you have a health certificate, because that is required. Now, the odds of you getting stopped and checked are fairly low, but you don't want that to ruin your trip, especially if you've got a carload of kids with you. So you want to make sure that they're vaccinated and everything's up to date with their veterinarian. And, make sure they've always got a collar on with tags. Microchip them if you haven't. If they get out at a rest stop, you never know what's going to happen. Especially if you've got kids in the car, be careful with opening doors at rest stop, because when somebody opens the door on the other side, doesn't realize nobody's holding on. If you've got a dog like mine that travels all the time, he's not going to get out of the car until you tell him to get out of the car, and they're just used to it, and they've got a lot of miles, frequent flyer miles, I call it. But if they don't, that's when you can really lose them and have a really bad downturn to your trip when you're spending the rest of the trip looking for a missing pet. You can use something like a car organizer to make everything really, really handy, so you're not searching through suitcases in the back of the car looking for leashes and things.
That's a smart idea. So this just attaches right to the back of the seat.
Yeah, just throw it over the back of the seat. It's just old school car organizer. Always have a slip lead in case you can't find their regular leash quickly. This can make into an instant collar and lead if somebody's taken the collar off in the car and didn't realize it. So that's a quick and easy. You can have their medications handy. If it's at nighttime, a flashlight helps to take them for a walk, because you forget about the fact that you may not be somewhere with street lights when you're looking for that patch of grass on the side of the road.
Exactly.
You don't want to step on a snake or glass or anything else.
No.
Have a flashlight. Always keep water handy for them. If you teach them ahead of time to drink out of a bottle, it makes your life a lot easier. If not, if you take a toy like a Frisbee, you can invert that, pour their food, pour their water on it, and have an instant dish on the side of the road that you just...
That's a smart idea.
Yeah, flick the leftovers off of, wipe it off, and you're good. Which brings another point. Always make sure somewhere in the foot of the car or something, there's a muddy paw wipe. Take one of these little microfiber towels that absorb so much and keep it there for when they jump in the lake when you weren't expecting it, that kind of thing.
Because that can happen, of course.
And baby wipes, live and die by baby wipes, because there's always something they step in that they're not supposed to. Umbrella, in case you're lucky enough to be somewhere where it's raining.
Yes.
Treats, don't put treats in the back of the deal unless you've got a really good dog that won't take them unless you give them to them. But if you've got one, if you have a retriever, you might not want to have your treats hanging right here.
Right.
But for the retrievers, you definitely want to have balls and toys at the ready, so that you can, when they're out for those few minutes during that drive, they can actually get some exercise and burn off some energy.
All really good ideas. So that covers the road trip. What about if you're taking them on the air? I know the vaccinations, that sort of thing, still plays there.
It does.
How do you prepare them for air travel?
And then those health certificates are absolutely required. You're not going to get on the plane without it. And that's when we see them in the emergency hospital in the middle of the night for a perfectly healthy pet, is because they need a health certificate to get on the plane. So you want to have that. You want to call ahead. Most of the airlines only allow one pet per cabin, and those are the small pets. Everybody else has to go back in cargo. May through October, they will not fly smush face breeds, your brachycephalic, your bulldogs and your pugs, those kind of guys. So don't even think that's going to happen.
Because it's harder for them to breathe up there, right?
Right. And in the wintertime, we have trouble too, depending on where you're going, with it being too cold to fly. So always call ahead, always find out. Don't assume that you're going to be able to show up at the airline and show up with your potbelly pig and get on.
Don't bring the pig on the plane. Real quick, because we do have to go here in a second, but if you don't want to take them on the trip, what are your options?
Yeah, we call it the 3 Fs. Then you're down to friends, family, and facilities, which is your boarding facilities. They book up this time of year, get reservations in advance, and know that you're not going to get accepted unless the vaccines are current. So you have to plan.
Make sure you visit that vet pretty soon.
2-legged kids or 4-legged kids means more planning to go have that fun.
Well, if you want to bring them along, then it can be very fun, but you just got to be prepared. Dr. Weaver, thank you so much for joining us. And if you would like more advice, just head to FresnoPetER.com. We appreciate you. It is 6:32. We'll be right back after this.